There's something at the heart of great lead guitar playing, but it was something that I completely ignored for most of my guitar life, and I feel like I'm kind of playing catch up right now. And hopefully this video will help you catch up or perhaps get off on the right foot. I'm talking about phrasing. Phrasing seemed like the special sauce, the mojo in my favorite guitarist playing, and I guess it is, but somehow having an idea of what it is helped me track toward it. And to me, phrasing is a combination of three parts of a musical phrase. It's how it's constructed from the notes to the rhythm, it's the placement of the phrase in the bars, and it's how you articulate the notes within the phrase. And there are 5 things that I think are helping me, and I think they can help you too when it comes to improving your phrasing. Real quick, before we get started, I wanted to let you know about a resource that can help you with this video, and actually with each new Tuesday Blues video. Tuesday Blues email subscribers get a detailed write-up along with this video lesson, and the written lesson will help you study along with the video, plus you'll get additional materials to help you practice on your own. You can sign up at the link in the description, so now, let's dig in. I don't know about you, but I don't pay near enough attention to the rhythmic side of my playing, and I certainly didn't in the early years when I was first getting started. But here's a simple truth. Great phrasing has great rhythm, and if you don't focus on rhythm, it shows. Try this exercise to isolate the rhythmic side of your phrasing. Put on a drum loop and improvise a short rhythm using just one single note. If the drum loop feels a little bit too bare for you, then try a 1-chord backing track like the one I'm using here. Alright, while grooving with just one note, try to make things interesting without changing the rhythm. Add funky accents, try playing soft then loud, try playing with all downstrokes, upstrokes, and mute some of the notes and let others kind of stand out. Do this for a few rounds before expanding to using 2 notes and then 3, and see what you can do. Okay, yep, I varied the rhythm a bit and I even introduced a complementary rhythm toward the end. Do that. As you get comfortable and really get into the groove, feel free to change things up. This is the wax on, wax off training that will help raise your awareness of rhythm when you're playing lead. That's the idea. Okay, I'm not a singer. I do all right, but my pitch could use some improvement for sure. Still, I find this exercise incredibly helpful for improving my phrasing. Sing a short phrase, no track, no band, just make up a phrase, something like this. Here goes. Da 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 da, da 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 da. All right, and then here is the tough part. Try to replicate that on the guitar. Do this by singing the same melody and experiment with the notes on the guitar until you can play the sequence. This might take a lot of trial and error, but keep this in mind. Don't let the guitar lead your voice. In other words, don't change the vocal melody, change the guitar to match the vocal melody. And yeah, you might need to tweak your voice slightly to sing in tune, I sure do, but the idea here is to match the guitar to the vocal melody. Then play the melody on guitar while singing, and do this for a few rounds. There are 2 main reasons why I like this as a way to help us improve our phrasing. First, when you sing, you need to breathe. Singing first helps you place natural pauses and space in between the notes. Singers, horn players, harmonica players, they all have to take a breath, and that little pause can be impactful and it gives space, and we need to bake that into our guitar phrasing. And second, you're playing something that mimics the human voice just by nature of this exercise, and the blues is rooted in voice. It's a vocal tradition, and an exercise like this hopefully will help you get closer to that. or at least pay attention to it. When I started out playing guitar, I was really into thrash metal, and my untrained teenage ears just heard everything on 10 all the time. I didn't hear much subtlety or variation in volume in that music, and I know that genre is about as subtle as a sledgehammer, but that all out, all on 10 sort of playing really left its mark on me. But great phrasing has peaks and valleys, loud moments, soft moments. So try an exercise like this to help you incorporate more of the dynamic range of the guitar into your phrasing. Take a simple melody or even a whole part, like I'm going to show you in this example, and play at extreme ends of the dynamic spectrum. I'm going to start out by playing on the soft side for a while, really as softly as I can, and then I'm going to shift abruptly to playing really hard. I'm really going to dig in. But then I want to come back to the middle. And one way that you can do this is start to play quietly, but then accent certain notes. But don't pick them as hard as you can, just maybe 60%, 70%, 80%. You'll dial that in, but really go in between the lines, playing quietly with moments of those accents that are played louder. This exercise will help you understand where the two ends of the dynamic range of the guitar are and how to get more of it. For me, this helped me lean a little bit more to the softer side and bring things down, and ultimately it left me with a lot more headroom in my playing. All right, this exercise is one of my favorites. It's dead simple, it's fun, and it can really help. Here's how you do it. Put on a backing track and play no more than 3 notes per bar. And I'm not talking about G, C, and D and play them as many times as you like. I mean only pluck the strings 3 times per bar. If you find this exercise in particular a little bit boring, then I think that's when you should lean in and challenge yourself to make these 3-note bars as interesting as possible. You're likely going to need to pull together all that we've talked about so far, like using an interesting rhythm, playing something that sounds like it could be sung, and then really using the dynamic range. Give this a shot, really lean into it, and I think you'll be surprised at how much it helps your overall phrasing. I think this is the best way to really learn great phrasing, is to be able to hear it and raise your awareness of it. I think it's in part what makes players like B.B. King, David Gilmour, and John Mayer sound so good and expressive. But don't forget to listen to other instruments and vocalists. Bessie Smith, Ella Fitzgerald, Frank Sinatra, Miles Davis. There's so much that you can learn from the masters if you're really listening, really paying attention. And if you want to take this to the next level, take a vocal-based song that you love and transcribe the melody for guitar. Try to play it so it sings. This is basically another version of the vocal-led phrasing, and it really works. Now remember, you can grab additional lesson resources by signing up for the Tuesday Blues email list, which you can do right over here. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, practice smart and play on.